Yeah, Armored Warfare, guys. That is something that sparked my interest as well, gaming-wise. I haven't put much hours into it,
The chains tear at their flesh.
but
Hear their screams. Such
it got my
sweet
attention.
music.
Definitely, it got my attention. The thing with Armored Warfare, what I don't
You are so
particularly like
eager. I
is
suppose I should introduce myself.
the way it
I am Sedain,
uh,
maiden
offers
of Mist.
active defense. Like,
But as
you
for
know, in World of Tanks, you can angle and that shit. It's really hard to do in Armored Warfare. It's really hard to do, seriously. It
how
You can
good.
do it, but
They
it's
are my
hard to do.
daughters.
As well
I
as,
was
you know,
pushed
the
entirely around.
um,
Your screams of anguish will sound so sweet.
how's it called? The system that the camouflage system, right? Is so fucked up in Armored Warfare. Well, it might not be fucked up. It might be me. Uh,
I can feel the blood hemorrhaging from the sin heart. Oh, you will pay for this.
but you know, and the trolls of you would say, of course it's me. But um, you know, I'm playing computer games for quite a while, and I've put some thought into it. You know, preventing being spotted in armored warfare. I mean, I actually really put effort in not getting spotted, but it's a very hard task in armored warfare. I can tell you that much. I've advanced to tier 6 now, in one tree, so that's a T72A, I think, main battle tank. And to stay hidden with that thing,
So
you
close
have a
now.
job at hand when you try to do that,
Oh,
you
come
know.
on.
And you know, the only thing that is actually the the real negative impact or the negative side of that thing, efficient fighting in this game can't be achieved by staying concealed with tanks, but it can only be achieved by, you know, being glued to hard cover. And I'm hoping for that to be rectified, and changed a little bit, because, you know, I do appreciate, and you know, I'm not opposed to that, to the argument that it's a different game, right? It is a different game from World of Tanks, but you know, guys, let's be honest, right? If you get spotted the instant you shoot from behind a bush in a tank, you know, there's no point, you know, in trying to be, you know, to play it cautiously, and you know, you know, you basically play that game like you play, I don't know, Command and Conquer compared to Company of Heroes. You know, you send your units into death. You know, it's like in Company of Heroes, you actually try to prevent them from dying. You know, that is a difference between Armored Warfare and World of Tanks. You know, in World of Tanks, a bush is a fucking bush. You know, that, you know, other than you seeing the shell coming out of that bush, and other than, you know, the camouflage value uh, is not good enough for the neck, you know, to make your vehicle stay in concealment. Um, you know, there's no reason for you to be popping up on everyone's mini map just because you shoot, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're in the fucking bush. So yeah, that gets me a little bit worked out there, I know, but um, you know, that is not very well done in Armored Warfare. Other than that, I like Armored Warfare more than World of Tanks, as in, you know, you have rockets to shoot, you have, um, you know, a more appealing range of vehicles. It may be, you know, the breeze of fresh air, you know, Armored Warfare brings to the table compared to World of Tanks in terms of vehicle choice. That for now lets it appear a little bit more positive. It might be, but just now, you know, driving a tank in Armored Warfare actually, you know, is a more positive experience than it is in World of Tanks, minus the fucking concealment issue. What to me is also a little bit more positive. At the end of the day, it just seems so. I can't really judge that on first-hand experience. You know, I mean, you know, to be fair, you know, I have no first-hand experience with the dev team of or with the support team of Obsidian, and I don't know how well the flow of information from the community management into the R&D department or into the product management is, but you know, they seem to react in a little bit more open-minded view to their audiences and their clients. You know, look, the amount of shit Wargaming got for the way they go about things. They make you pay for. So that's about World of Tanks with Wargaming.net as the company behind it. They make you pay for a tank, and then a year further down the line, they say, yeah, we have analyzed and we have studied data and God else, God knows what else, you know. You know, they're starting to to introduce you know, different matchmaking to premium tanks. You bought them, you know, for money earning purposes basically, and you wanted to, you know, you drop. At least that's the case for me. I dropped money for the preferred matchmaking. You know, it's not like you get a win with that, but what you get is, you know, your money's worth. Like, you know, you get a better matching. You know, you are top rank. That is for a lot of tanks the reason why I purchased them. It's like, you know, and that's not happening anymore. Like, nope, the tanks have, you know, have been taken off the preferential matchmaking, although that was the, the selling point of them.
I must wait longer.
I, you know. So the thing is, Wargaming doesn't give a shit. You know, they just do what they want because, you know, that's always like, we studied the numbers. That's that is, you know, that is what they bring as a valid excuse. And you know, at the end of the day, they are the vendor and it's their game, and you know, they can do what they want, but they for sure don't get my money anymore for any of their shit. You know, that's that, you know. um, You know, that it's like, you know, basically you are buying something under the premise of conditions. You know, these conditions can't change because um, they have analyzed some data. You know, it's like that's just not on. You know, this is not really professional. Also, the same shit with the matchmaker. You know, they refuse to accept that the matchmaker is so fucking broken in that game. They don't do anything about it, and you know, so I play the game, but they don't get my money anymore. Fuck them, really. So that is another huge thing why I wasn't a friend of Gaijin, was a War Thunder kind of thing, because they basically uh, put on the same attitude. I mean, you can get away with that thing in Russia, maybe, where you have a guy who reigns the country in that way, but you for sure don't get any of my money if you behave like that. You know, it's not like they are Putin and can do whatever they want because they have everyone behind them. I do, I do recognize that they're Belarusian, so no worries. But yeah, that's my criticism, with World of Warcraft, with World of Tanks. And the argument and don't play it, I played World of Tanks since the earliest possible beta. I think I was even part of closed beta. Can't remember exactly how that played out. Like what, 5 or 6 years ago. I think I'm entitled to have a negative opinion on how things turned out because I spent a good amount of money and I spent I don't know how many time in this game. And they have fucked up. They sure have fucked up. The thing is that from the early days, their main audience seems to be on the Russian server. And the louder the guy on the Russian server cry about shit, the more the more things change towards how the Russians would like it. And that time has shown that that is not necessarily how other geographic regions would like to have things playing out. I do understand that they can't um, customize, or that they're not willing to customize the servers to that extent that they um, you know basically customize versions for every server. um, I do understand that because I work in the cloud application sector of IT, so I do have a genuine understanding of the reasons behind, or the motivation behind a network of shared of a shared service having to have the same versions running on it for administration purposes and maintenance purposes and all the rest of it. But yeah, I think they have enough money to manage that separately. They can manage that for 3 or 4 geographic locations. I personally, and I do, I do appreciate and I understand that that is not necessarily the view of the, you know, majority of World of Tanks players, but I personally think that artillery has no place in a game called World of Tanks. I mean, you know, from, you know, how can I say that? Um, I don't know how effective artillery is, you know, and how precise artillery is to catch tanks in, you know, I don't know if artillery is as precise as it is, you know, pictured and played and is playing out in World of Tanks. I don't think it has a place, you know, in two medium tanks battling it out one on one, and then the fucking click dick comes in and destroys the gaming experience of these two guys, you know, battling it out one to one, you know, one guy after against another. Um, has no place in the game, if you ask me. But you know, it's what it is. They are in, and you know, I can live with that. I live, but you know, genuinely speaking, I don't think they have a place in the game. Yeah, speaking of World of Tanks, my you know, if my YouTube channel has been built based on World of Tanks, I always claimed that, you know, this channel is about gaming, hence why you know, I was mainly focused on World of Tanks, but every once in a while I put different content out, and now I'm not posting any tanking videos, but rest assured um, I keep spending a good amount of my playtime in either World of Tanks or Armored Warfare, and I already recorded a few Armored Warfare gameplays. I think one PvP gameplay of an artillery piece, lol. But artillery is different in Armored Warfare, but yeah, and the PvE mode. I'm not as impressed with PvE as it might could be the case, because the AI is, you know, not challenging, is as stupid as the AI in MMORPGs are. It's like you need to coordinate, and the AI only can overwhelm you by sheer numbers, not by, you know, actually being an artificial intelligence, but by coming out in numbers or dishing out more damage, you know. So it's not really challenging, but it's a refreshing mode for the genre, I think. You know, it's a PvE is a new thing in tank games, and therefore I enjoy it. I say it, you know, I really enjoy playing the missions, be they easy, medium or hard. I don't really care. I enjoy the shit out of them. I don't know why, and I don't feel a necessity to justify that. But I don't know why I feel actually the way I feel about PvE in Armored Warfare, but I enjoy it. um, it's not really challenging, but you know, beating the crap out of tanks, you know, out of AI tanks, seems to be appealing to me for some reason. Depending on which vehicle you are sitting in, it can be a challenge on in its own right. Um, you know, depending on the situation, as of medium difficulty. Um, you know, especially when you have numpties in your team that don't understand that, uh, you know, mechanics of it. By of it, I mean mechanics of the map or of the respawn or, you know, that kind of thing.
Think you know pain, Nephilim? You think you know anguish? Soon my concubine will show you their true meaning.
Yeah, I have, you know, to start talking about something else. As when I was doing my research on streaming and, you know, automate content creation, um, that kind of thing. Um, you know, I was picturing streaming and recording in the same goal. The thing is, I mean, truth to be told, it's possible, but I just, at the moment, you know, and I don't think if I ever will have the time for that, but I don't have the time to put into that because that's not my job, you know. It's like, I'm an IT guy, and I don't intend to change that for as my profession, you know. I'm not a streamer slash YouTuber from a professional standpoint.
I do hope you're not remotely
So I have decided I give it a try, streaming and recording. It doesn't work the way I'd like it to work, and that's about it. You know, that's maybe by coincidence I come across a method of, you know, streaming and doing shit in one go. No, I can't get that. But just now, um, so my idea was that I would be able to stream via the built-in Twitch app from the Xbox in 720 because my upload internet bandwidth is quite limited. And that I can record in 1080 um, 60 frames. So, but the Twitch app fucking destroys the recording bit because what is going on here? This the Twitch app from the Xbox One destroys the recording because it overlays stuff meant as you know, for informational purposes, and that destroys the recording and the ability to upload decent quality videos to YouTube. I enjoy the live one-to-one feedback kind of sessions that comes with streaming, but I don't have a regular schedule available for streaming, so, you know, I needed to come up with a decision whether or not I, you know, stream or put YouTube content out, and I stick with YouTube content. Um, you know, I have not even put any thought into it. Why? It's just like I prefer putting YouTube content out. I could do that with a PlayStation 4. For some reason, the streaming app on the PlayStation 4 does not overlay any irrelevant, um, you know, irrelevant to the gameplay information on screen, so it would be captured if I plug in my capture card. but the Twitch Xbox app feels the necessity to do so. So I can't really produce YouTube videos when I'm streaming. So I don't stream. So I could use the what's that? Elgato Game Capture HD software for streaming, but I haven't got the time to get into my protocol settings to optimize the streaming performance of my MacBook. The thing is that the streaming performance that I get from the Game Capture HD is far, uh, you know, uh, I wouldn't consider the performance for streaming of the software on the MacBook as adequate. So I can stream, but in a far less quality and more stuttering and that kind of shit. Also, when I use the software to stream, I can't record in 1080p. I can only record in the codec I use for streaming, and then the quality of the video is not that nice, so fuck that, I don't stream. I would prefer to stream and being able to record, but yeah, no, apparently it's not happening. I had to go with the Elgato stuff because, like I said, I have a MacBook, I don't have a PC. Like a mobile PC. I'm sitting in my living room and I'm not planting a fucking PC in the living room just for streaming and recording and stuff like that. You know, I need a new beer. That's right on my this is very important list. And once I reach the door downstairs, change the level, I go and grab myself a new beer. Yeah, tomorrow's the day. My Thrustmaster T150 steering wheel arrives. I know it's not the most fanciest wheel of wheels, but while I'm a guy who is willing to drop decent money for his hobby, you know, I am, I'm not shying away from dropping 350, 400 pounds for a gaming device such as a steering wheel, but I just need, knowing myself, I, there's a potential that, I enjoy driving for now, and in a month or 2 months time, I stop enjoying it. And once I surpass that 3 months, 4 months period, and I'm still into racing simulating or driving simulators, I go and buy a decent steering wheel, and then most likely I will also buy one of those racing seats, that kind of thing. And my when today I watched some videos on YouTube about project cars and racing and iRacing. I mean, iRacing seems to be very, very interesting to me. Um, like I said, I don't shy away from dropping money, not even for subscriptions, when I really do like something. Not shying away from that. So iRacing is really interesting because I'm into these leak kind of ladder kind of things, and with the license system they have in iRacing, that's seems to be a decent thing. But I just stopped the recording real quick.